Bigfoot, the truth behind the tracks. They call him the missing link. A massive ape-like creature who roams the forests of North America, avoiding capture, but never fading from memory. But who, or what, is Bigfoot? Is he a relic of prehistory? A hoax run wild? Or something deeper, a reflection of our fear of the wild and ourselves? This is Origins Unmasked. And today, we follow the tracks into the truth behind the legend of Bigfoot. The story begins long before the 20th century, in the oral traditions of Native American tribes. To the Salish people of the Pacific Northwest, he was known as Sasquatch, meaning wild man. The Lummi had stories of Tsmequez, a hairy, forest-dwelling giant. Across tribes, these beings shared key traits: large, strong, elusive, and living in the mountains. They weren't always considered monsters. Sometimes they were tricksters. Sometimes guardians of the wilderness. Sometimes warnings to stay out of the woods alone. These stories weren't isolated. Similar beings appeared in First Nations lore in Canada, the Yeti of the Himalayas, and the Yowie of Australia. But in North America, Bigfoot wouldn't become a household name until 1958. That year, a road construction crew near Bluff Creek, California, discovered massive footprints in the mud. The tracks were nearly 16 inches long and human-like. Journalist Andrew Genzoli of the Humboldt Times published the photos, half-jokingly suggesting they might belong to a creature called Bigfoot. The name stuck, and within weeks, new sightings poured in. But decades later, the family of one of the workers, Ray Wallace, admitted the tracks were faked with carved wooden feet. A prank that accidentally launched a legend. Still, the idea of Bigfoot had already taken root. Then came 1967, the moment that would define the myth. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin were horseback riding near Bluff Creek when they claimed to spot a large, hairy figure walking upright across a sandbar. Patterson jumped off and filmed 59 seconds of shaky footage. What would become the most famous clip in cryptozoology history? To this day, the Patterson-Gimlin film divides opinion. Some say it clearly shows an unknown bipedal primate. Skeptics argue it's a man in a costume and point to inconsistencies in the story. No one has definitively debunked it. But no one has confirmed it either. Over the next 50 years, Bigfoot became a media icon. Books, TV shows, hunting expeditions. Entire communities dedicated to finding him. Thousands of sightings have been reported, from Oregon to Ohio, Washington to the deep woods of Florida. Witnesses describe the same thing. 7 to 10 feet tall. Covered in dark hair. With a heavy, ground-shaking stride and eyes that seem almost human. Some say he smells terrible. Others say he moved too fast to follow. But almost all agree he vanished before they could prove what they saw. So what's really going on? Scientists overwhelmingly reject the idea of Bigfoot. They argue there's no skeletal remains, no fur samples, no scat, and no fossil record of a bipedal ape in North America. They say most sightings are likely misidentified animals, like black bears walking upright, or even elaborate hoaxes. Yet, the mystery lingers. Because here's what's fascinating. Even when hoaxes are exposed, even when no hard evidence emerges, the belief doesn't go away. Bigfoot continues to appear in our imagination, in our media, and in the woods. Why? Some say Bigfoot represents the last piece of wilderness, a living symbol of the wild we've nearly tamed. Others see him as a mirror, a reminder of the primitive self we once were, or still are. In an age of satellite maps, DNA testing, and smartphones, Bigfoot is the one mystery we still can't quite catch. He's always just out of frame, just beyond the ridge, just behind the tree. Could there be a flesh and blood creature hiding in our forests? Or is Bigfoot a legend we need? Not to believe in monsters, but to believe in mystery? This is Origins Unmasked, where the line between fact and folklore disappears in the trees, and the truth leaves tracks.